As a second-generation Vietnamese Cambodian American and a child of war survivors, there are gaps in my knowledge and understanding of my ancestral roots. Somehow, much of the art, the culture, the history never reached me. So this is my way of learning, growing, and healing through community.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. I'm excited that I have Van here. I will have
Hey, guys.
him introduce himself just really briefly. I didn't even meet you, but I saw you at the Boston Fête, festival in February.
February at the seaport area. Yep.
Yes. And then we connected on Instagram, and I noticed by looking at your page, I was like, oh, you're a Khmer artist.
Right, yeah.
And I wanted to interview you today because I have a lot of questions as someone who is on a journey seeking to connect with my lost ancestral Khmer roots. So I'd love to connect with you today to learn more about your journey as an artist. And there are other questions that I have about your journey, your life experience. And yeah, I would love to dive in because I feel like there's a lot here that I want to dive into.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to answer all the questions that you have for me, whether it's personal or career-wise in the music world. It's been a long journey, but the journey, I'm still going.
Yes.
I'm still on it until I find that path of enlightenment.
Yes. So for those who are watching and tuning into this, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so Vannara. My name is Vannara, or you can call me Van, as I am well known here in the Boston areas under Van. But again, I am an artist here, basically Khmerican artist. I'm into more culture than the Western society because I feel more connected that way with my culture. And again, I am signed under the Khmer Life record label.
What is Khmer Life?
So Khmer Life is basically, it's more like a team committing to like Cambodian music, to today music. So we basically want to reach out to the younger generation as well as the older generation. So we had many members in our team, too many to count.
Yeah.
But so we're based mainly in Cali, Cambodia, Lowell, and myself here in Boston. So our team are pretty far spread out, but the thing is, I was recently recruited for about a year now. And what I can say about this team is they've done a lot of amazing work. Even though it's like, it took us a while because we're basically perfecting our arts. And good things take times.
Yes.
And that's the thing. So we have some members that focus on a specific coverage genre with the oldie music. And me, myself, as a Cambodian pop artist. And we have another guy who's in Long Beach, his name Darian. So he focused more on reggae music as well. But he's in school right now, so we leave him be until he finishes, and then he'll come back to us, and then hopefully we'll make more music that will excite the audience, and hopefully everybody can connect with us, and basically put out Khmer Life out there for the world to see.
Wow, I love that. Well, you're actually not just Khmer, you're actually Khmer-Indian.
Yeah, so a lot of people, when they first saw me, they either thought I was Filipino, Hispanic, or such. But the thing is, I normally don't tell people what I am yet because people like to talk, so I like to listen in, and then I shock them by speaking Cambodian back to them. So yeah, I always explain to them, I'm Gongkat, meaning like you're like mixed breed. Gong is like, in Vietnamese, it's Gong, child. And then Kat is mean like half, cut, half. So I'm basically Indian from my father's side. I believe the story is my great-grandfather, he's like a merchant who traveled to Cambodia and then somehow met a Cambodian wife, then bada boom boom, then had me later on in life. But throughout the entire generation, in this generation, my sibling generation, we all look more all mixed.
Okay, yeah.
But overall, I love being mixed. I don't see it as something like people should like be frowned upon and like don't feel like an outcast, because it's good to spread what you have, the ideas and all. It's good to stand out,
Yes.
You don't want to be looking like the same sheep all the time with everybody else.
Yeah, it's good to be different sometimes.
It's good, yeah.
Yes.
It's part of your identity, you know?
Yes, yeah. Something that I noticed that I'm learning about you over the last 3 months is that you are extremely passionate about the Khmer culture,
Yeah.
representing the culture. Can you share more with us your why?
My why.
Yeah.
Why. Okay, I'm gonna start off with when I was little. I didn't know how to read or write or how to speak Cambodian at all.
Really?
No.
Okay.
So I was basically, in a way, with a loner. So every morning when like my parents are like doing house cleaning chores and stuff, they would blast up Cambodian karaoke to the point where I can't sleep. I can feel it. So when I'm like sleeping, the vibration, I'm like, okay, I'm like jamming to it in bed. So it kind of like stuck onto me, you know? I'm like, oh wow, it's really uplifting. It brings you peace. So as I grew up, I noticed like people my age, they're really Americanized, westernized.
Yes.
And every time they think of Cambodian culture, they'll go, yeah, whatever. Why don't you just listen to American music, listen to the radios? I'm like, I had to find a way to connect with my culture because it's how I grew up on, you know, the music. And then I watched a lot of karaoke. I always want to learn how to sing. Honestly, I don't even know how to sing back then.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had to force myself how to sing. So I do it every day, and then, you know, through trial and errors. The first song that got me into it was like some kind of R&B song by Omarion or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically this R&B song is about love making. So I had to feel it, so when I'm singing it, so I'm like singing it every day, and I was like, okay, I'm getting the hang of it. And then with the Cambodian music, the one song that stuck to me was there's a singer called Priep Savat. He's really well known to this very day.
Yeah.
And Priep Savat, he had a song called, in the English translation, Pianist in Tear. So a lot of people my age, even the older generation, love that song. So I started learning that, writing down the lyric. Not in Cambodian, because I know how to write in Cambodian, so basically it's in English. So I memorized that. So I started singing it, and it was not perfect at all when I'm singing it in Cambodian, because my Khmer is not Shabbat, which means it's not really clear. So I keep singing it everywhere I go, and then I have people help me, correct me. Not in a bad way, in a way they want to help me out, so I appreciate that, you know, because every word counts. And Cambodian community were really strict when it comes to pronunciation, because we don't want our country to look bad when we're singing. So I started singing that song, and then I was like, you know what, I got to do better than this. So I started, at that time, YouTube was still new. It's not as big as it's today, but there were some people teaching Cambodian how to read and write, so I learned from that.
You learned from...
So basically I learned everything through YouTube. That's like my grandmaster.
At what age did you decide I am going to learn how to speak Khmer, I'm going to learn how to sing in Khmer?
I believe my sophomore year of high school.
Sophomore year in high school?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
But at the time, I really don't have that many young friends. So I kind of like unknowingly decided to hang out with my parents' friends.
Subconsciously.
Yeah. So every time they have like Cambodian party, like they do karaoke at the family gathering.
Yeah.
So I go to their social gathering and just eat the food while listening to the adult conversion in conversion in Cambodian. So that way I can pick it up.
Did you understand Khmer? Did you already understand Khmer?
I'm sure a lot of people my age at that time, they understand it, but they can't speak it back.
Okay, got it.
But for me, it was much easier because I'm always surrounded by them, the older folks.
Yeah.
So that's one key factor in my life to help me learn Cambodian. And then in high school in Fall Rivers, they have a Cambodian class. So that Cambodian class...
They had Cambodian class?
Yeah.
In Fall River?
In Fall River, yeah. So Fall River is mostly a city for Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese, and not pork and cheese, but that's what they know for.
Portuguese, yes.
Yes. Yeah, we actually have it from Khmer 1, Khmer 2, Khmer 3. Yeah. But it never take off because people keep cheating off of me.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Whoever watching this video, I know y'all be cheating off my sheet and my exam.
Oh my God. But you were passionate.
Yeah, of course, I was passionate about it. Everything that I come across that's Cambodian related or Southeast Asian related, I go and support it. That way I can learn more about it.
Yeah.
So as I grew up older, and all the kids, they're still stuck with the American music. But as they hit their like mid-20s, that's when they decided to, oh wow, Cambodian music is really awesome. I'm like, y'all a little too late.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But everybody know me as that kid that's always been passionate about the Cambodian community, the culture, the music, anything related to it.
You mentioned earlier, just briefly mentioned about how when you were younger, you would hear your parents playing Cambodian music and you would feel the vibration.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear the story about, your earpiece, and you said you lost your hearing as a child.
Mhm.
How old were you? And I would love for you to share that story.
So a lot of people don't know that I'm hard of hearing. So that's one of the main reasons why I can't speak clearly because of my speech. So I do try hard every day to try to like learn how to pronounce certain things correctly.
Yes.
But I'm open to like people teach me how to pronounce the word.
Yeah.
So there are some days where I say one word and people tell me, oh, it's not this. You got to pronounce it like this. And then I go like, so I've been saying it wrong for the past 31 years of my life and nobody corrected me until now. And yeah, but I'm thankful for people correcting me and understanding that I don't see my hearing aid as a disability or anything. It's part of who I am. As I was telling you earlier in the car, like they say like, oh, why don't you take it off when you take pictures or make a music video? I'm like, no, it's a part of who I am. If people see it, that's good. If they don't, who knows? Maybe they'll see it eventually, you know? 'Cause I don't like to explain myself. I want people to see and then ask me the question about it. Yeah, I don't want to be like, hey, I'm hard of hearing. This is why I can't do this and that. I don't want to give excuses, you know?
Yeah. So what's the story behind
So the story was as I was a kid so originally my family, we live in Stockton, Old Park, which is pretty well known. Everybody know where Old Park is. So when I was a kid, I believe 3 or 4, I wasn't born hard of hearing, so because I was the new kid on the block, I believe I got bullied in a way. So the neighbor across my house, they kind of like pick on me, and then they kind of physically pick on me in a way. So they shoved like the color pencil into my ear. They kind of jam it. So it was like bleeding, and then went to the hospital. But so that was one of the most tragic moments of my life because they started vacuuming. Like they used this suction method to the point where it was so painful. My dad was yelling at the doctor. So it was so traumatic that I remember it vividly. So I'm like, holy crap. But after a while, people always wonder why, like after that incident, why I don't talk back to them. It's not because I don't want to talk back to them. I guess they found out I'm hard of hearing, that I couldn't hear them. That's why.
Wow.
Yeah, they thought I would, not because I'm always by myself. So they always wonder like, oh, what's wrong with him? Because they started doing hearing tests. They're like, oh, hearing loss.
And that was your neighbors?
Yeah. The neighbor, I believe it's the neighbor across from me.
Yeah.
2 kids. Yeah. Yeah, the project kid are not nice.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. Wow.
Yeah.
How has that life experience made you stronger?
To be honest, it kind of helped me out in a way where if I see somebody I don't like and they try to talk to me, I'll be like, sorry, hard of hearing. So I call it the selective hearing if I want. So if I want to hear from you, I hear from you. If not, I'm like.
Oh my gosh. Well,
But it made me stronger in a way, in the music wise, because to be honest, when I'm playing with other bands and such, and they tell me like, oh, follow this note, I'm like, what note? I can't hear it. So I have to explain to them.
Yeah.
So if I always have to follow what I notice. If I follow the people who played like the drum, and when they make that roll call, that's when I know when to jump in. So I keep telling myself like, hey, can you give me like a certain like keynote like to go in? And I always look at people like body language, you know?
Yes.
So when I sing, it's always body language.
So it seems like it's you, even if this may be like short, you use your other senses to be like really present to make sure.
I mean, yeah, that's what I noticed. Like when one sense doesn't work, it amplifies other senses. I'm not a superhero, but what kind of superhero have selective hearing?
I was curious to hear like your story and your perspective of like your hearing, because I have diabetes, and as I was sharing with you earlier in the
Mm-hmm.
car, a lot of people do not know that I have diabetes, and you would only know by looking at me if you see if you see this patch here.
Yeah,
And
this is called a sensor. Yep.
do you want to explain?
Yeah, I know because I work in a pharmaceutical way, and I manage people who are diabetics.
Yes, and it has insulin inside
Yeah.
of it, and I need it. I need it to live. It's
Right.
part of my everyday life, and it's not something that I talk about or I shed light on. I do wear it, and I don't hide it.
Mhm.
And for me, the diabetes, I don't know. I feel like there's if it wasn't for diabetes, I don't know, I wouldn't be the same person. I feel with the diabetes, I have to be more present. I have to be more mindful, especially of like what I eat, what I drink, and bacon. Bacon isn't great for me, but being more in tune with my body. And so I love that
But you understand your body. You listen to your body. Like, oh no, you're feeling like a little lightheaded, and you're like, okay, my body telling me, hey, get more of this, more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so being hard of hearing, my body telling me, don't talk to me, but I can feel the like I said, I feel the vibration. Like something's wrong, something's off, or I can sense it, then I can sense it.
It just makes you more aware and
Yeah,
sensitive.
you're more in tune.
More in tune.
Yeah.
So I love that you don't take it off. I love that you have it. And
Yeah, the only time I take it off is either when I'm showering, because it's not waterproof.
okay.
It's when I'm showering or sleeping. That's pretty much the only time I take it off. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a moment here. If you have something that is special or unique about you, own it. Own it. Yeah. There's nothing to be ashamed
Yeah,
about. or
don't be
hide.
afraid to talk about it. Be open up. Like everybody is going through something at least, or have some kind of. I don't see it as a flaw.
Yeah.
No, it's not a flaw.
It's just a part of who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for sharing. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me that question.
Yeah. So you feel like you're able to like feel more. Can you share more about like you being able to like sense vibrations and
Not in a way it's like sense, like a sixth senses kind of feeling, but
you have that
it's like,
too, though.
I mean, if we're talking spiritually, I do get, I don't know if it's just the Cambodian community or other Asian. It's just my group of circles back then, we always talk about ghosts, spirits and stuff. So everybody, no matter where I go, everybody that's in the Asian community always have a ghost story. And if they go to a new house or, because the first thing they do when you get a new house, you always got to bless it first. Get rid of the bad energy. But every time I go somewhere new or meet up new friends, we go hang out with another mutual friend places, and I would tell them, like, hey, is it me or I'm sensing something bad here? And they're like, oh, yeah, he told me it's haunted. I'm like, oh. Wow. But I was telling them, like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I can feel it. I see it sometimes when I was younger, but now I don't as much as often. Not sure why. Yeah. But I feel like maybe as we get older, it's all about the mindset. Like, your mind rejected, like, chose to, like, ignore it, leave it, avoid it, so that way it doesn't bother you. Yeah. So maybe that's why sometimes I know spirit won't show them to you if you don't be more open to the energy.
Open. Yeah, got it.
But overall, I'm not afraid of them. I'm just like, why don't y'all pay the bills? You're gonna live here, might as well help with the bill. You know how the economy is now?
Living rent free. They're just here and they're just living rent free.
That's why I'm saying this is why we pass away, so we don't have to pay.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to no. We're not saying that. No, we're gonna. Yes, when it's our time. Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear your perspective on what it has been like to be, what do you call it, Khmerican? Is that what you call that?
Khmerican, yeah.
Khmerican.
Yes.
What has it been like as a Khmerican artist?
Oh man, we get lit every time.
What do you mean by you get lit?
So Khmerican, every time we go to a social gathering party, yes, we do a lot of karaoke to start off. A lot of karaoke, that's how everybody connect, whether it's English or Cambodian music, or finding a song that have both a mixture of two languages. It's just, we're very supportive in that certain aspect. But when it comes to other things, it's hard to get people to support in a way.
Explain to me what has been easy to support, or like you receiving support, and what has not.
So basically, from what I see in my perspective, not from everybody else, it's good to like whenever there's like a concert or such, people will show support because it's all about having fun, embracing the culture. Sure, yes, there's alcohol involved, but we love that. It's part of the Asian culture. But when it comes to things like, oh, can you share this? Like, we have an event here and there. They're like, oh, we're too busy for this and that. It's always like they don't make time for the culture, but when it's beneficial to them, then they'll make time for it. But if it's not, they're like, oh, it's just, whatever. It's just another culture which pretty much it's not gonna go big. They always have the negative thought about outlook on it first instead of like thinking far ahead.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel we're probably going to get into like a touchy subject. Are you okay with that? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's just my feet are numb right now.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, switch up.
So this is how I usually fold myself at a temple. So every time a monk, they chant and then they kind of slow down. So that's your cue to switch over.
Let's talk about this. I'm now learning about the challenges that exist in the community, and these challenges, these issues have existed for some time now, and I want to better understand what are the solutions, right? Like what needs to happen for us to uplift the community, uplift one another, and move away from the past where people are seeing each other as competition, seeing that we cannot have a win-win. I'd like to hear from your perspective, what are the challenges and what do you think the solution is, or what are the possible solutions?
Challenges. No matter which industry the Cambodian community are in, we always tend to look for competition. Not sure why.
Look for competition
Yeah.
or see competition?
We do look and see competition at the same time. 'Cause the reason I'm saying that, because when we see competition and we see ourselves, we always try to strive to push for better.
Yeah.
But again, the thing is they're not thinking about how can we push and strive together instead of, oh, I gotta be better than this person or better than the next. Like, oh, he's making more money than me, I should be. Or like the comparison, even like the parents' generation where they're asking like, oh, my kid is doing better than you. They always have to like post the kid's success online to show off to other parents. So it is weird, but there are some healthy alternative to it, or they don't really say, hey, like, can you teach my kid, like, can your kid teach my kid tutor this and that? They don't like to ask for help. Most of the time we don't like to ask for help.
Do you like to ask for help?
I like to see if I can do it myself first.
Yes.
And then when I realize like, oh man, I can take more than just one person, so that's when I reach out to other people for help. I'm not against just saying, oh, you can't tell me what to do, or your idea kind of like doesn't go with my idea, this and that, or your idea doesn't work. Again, like people always say, 1 + 1 is 2, and then there's always other numbers involved, factors that can equate to the same, answer.
Yes. Yeah, there's different ways. Yes.
But my solution is we just need to change that mindset of where it's good to have competition, but in a way to grow, to push ourselves better, but we should have competition within ourselves. That's how I see it. I always have to fight who I am today so I can be better tomorrow. Every little progress counts. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and just tell yourself like, okay, what are you doing wrong today? Like, what do you need to fix? Just look at yourself.
What are you doing wrong today? That's like a negative, like, what are you doing wrong today? It should be,
I mean, it is negative, but in a way, if you have to hear it from yourself.
Yeah.
If you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, don't talk to yourself when people walking by, they're like, what's wrong with this guy? But it's hard. To be honest, it's hard to get a whole community or throughout a whole nation to change that perspective, because competition has always been in our blood.
Yeah, I understand that. I also feel like just because something has been done a certain way for however time, it doesn't mean that things have to stay that way, right? Because we're in a different time now than we were before. I feel we have more now than before. We have more tools, resources, knowledge, wisdom, experience.
Yes, I understand all that, but we have all that, but a lot of people don't want to get off from their couches, their bed, to go reach out for those resources.
Yeah.
They like think, I'm not saying this bad about our community, I'm just saying from what I see, the trend is that we like things being handed to us, We're just so used to that, to the point where like, so this is why we're not motivated enough, 'cause it's just things come easily our way,
I think I want to talk to the people, not necessarily the people who don't want more and are not willing to do more. I think I'm okay with not trying to convince those people. I don't think I'm here to really convince
Yeah,
anybody.
I mean, you can't help people who doesn't want to be helped.
Right. So I would love to, I know that if you exist as someone who cares about the culture, who you do want to be better, you do work
Yeah,
on
I do
yourself.
want to see. I want to see us do better. For sure.
Yeah. And there's people like me who are passionate about self-development and healing. I want to find more people like us, right? And I feel like connecting with people who are aligned to that vision and mission, I feel that, first of all, it's not putting it all on one person, but now we're collectively coming together to those who are energetically aligned.
I agree with that. So people like us, in a way, we act as in a way, it's like more like a community leaders in a way. The people that think like us will also spread out far apart. That's why. And we'll all.
Far and few?
Yeah.
Far and few.
That's what I'm thinking. And we'll all. We have a lot of people like us in one sector. Now, imagine the positive damage that could impact.
Wait,
I'm sorry, not damage, but impacts. Positive
impact. Okay, yes. Thank you for correcting.
Damage a little too aggressive, but I'm sorry about that. But the positive impact that we can have in our community. But again, like you said, we're too fall out and just too few of us.
I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. Even if we are far, I think if anything, maybe this is the time where we attract each other, right? Like that we are coming out and being open to having these conversations, right? And even if there is physical distance, energetically, we're much more closer and aligned than with those who do not see the big picture. Yeah, we're the generation where it's our time. We're in our prime. We're in our prime, and we have the capability to do things that our parents couldn't, because it is a different time now.
Yeah. And we live in a time where we have the most powerful tool in our hand, our pocket, to be able to connect, which is our phone.
Our phones.
This is the knowledge right here. Everything is here. So we can see people from far away. We can learn a lot of things. We can spread news as fast as anything, to be honest. So people need to learn how to utilize all those tools and resources to work as a team, pretty much.
Yeah. How do you see your music, your role as an artist in society and where we are?
Basically, me and you kind of have the same idea where we want to mix traditional music with modern music. And I already have one song that's not out yet. It's fully mastered, but I'm just waiting for the right time to release it.
Okay.
And it's good to have all the Cambodian instruments in there. And I believe it's a way where we can connect with the generation that doesn't know much about the culture. Once they hear those instruments, I don't know, it might be like a culture shock to them. They're like, wow, I never heard this beat before.
Wow. Okay, yes, I feel that, because I love that there is beautiful music that's coming out of Southeast Asia, and I feel that artists who live in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam, in Cambodia, y'all got access to the resources and the culture right there because you're from there. I feel as though for American, the Vietnamese and the Cambodian diaspora, we're going to have to do a little bit more work in terms of trying to reconnect with our roots and then infuse that into our music. I would love to see more American artists doing that, right? I want to hear the American version of that, of taking the tradition and modern together, because Southeast Asia, they're killing it. They're doing it.
They're doing the thing.
They're doing their thing,
Yeah.
and
I want all of us out here to step up.
we have an opportunity.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We do have the opportunity. It's just I wish to see more artists doing it as well.
Yes. Yeah, but I would say, I don't know, the resources, right? Resources, and it's such a different culture over here too. Things, it does cost a lot more. And so, working with what we have over here, I feel like we have they're obstacles that we have to also navigate, you know, between like the work culture, the 9 to 5, learning how to get away from the 9 to 5 to you know, actually realizing, hey, we're here to to pursue our dreams, right? Especially as artists, we have a bigger calling. What do you feel people don't realize about the artist journey?
They don't see the struggle that we go through just to create one song for y'all to dance to. They be like, oh, they'll be like, this song is jam, let's dance to it. But they don't know the hard work that goes behind it to create that one uplifting song for them. Because the thing, what we do is for you guys. Because as an entertainer, I consider myself as an entertainer to be. Because when I'm on stage, I feel more connected with the audience. Like when I see them smiling, all happy and dancing, they're going, hey, yeah, I'm over here like, got you. Yeah, you better dance. That's what I like to see, because I know in the past, all of our people have gone through a lot of darkness, but to be able to give them that moment of light as I'm like singing to them, entertaining to them. I'm not just a singer, I dance at the same time. I always have to perform my best just to show like, this is what you guys get. So I want you guys to have fun, burn some calorie, you know, get some excitement out. Like whatever negativity you have back at home, a lot of people are stressed and I can tell, but they don't talk about it. But once you're on the dance floor letting loose, I can see that happiness in them, you know, like, but just because it's like temporary happiness, I wish to continue that throughout every show that I put on. And like most of my show, I've always been quiet. I don't really do show as much because again, my job 9 to 5, then the OT, like I work from morning till late night, the gym. I don't really have time for myself. So I don't really sleep till like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. I know it's unhealthy, but it's just my neuron, they're still firing. Like I can't sleep. I'm always thinking like, what can I do to do better for myself, you know? It's always that question because people always say like, what if this, what if that, what? But me, I just want to like, I'm just gonna do it. It's a small window of opportunity, might as well take it. This year, I'm starting doing a little bit more show, thanks to one of my older brother, not really my brother, but we call him Mong. Sam Pichette, shout out to you for always putting me out there, the exposure, the band in Lowell, Black Spider Band, I appreciate y'all. Fall River, Black Diamond, there's a lot of black band. So there's like Black Claw, Black Spider, Black this and that. But the Fall River one is my home base, so I appreciate y'all doing your thing. Keep it up. And yeah, I'm hoping to do more shows this year. Well, actually, not too much. I get tired. I get tired sometimes, but as long as I stay, you know, to a minimum level of just drinking waters and this and that. Because it's part of the lifestyle to take shot from the elderly. You can't really say no to them. You say no to them, it's a disrespect. But at the same time, you got to maintain that professionalism. Yeah, just give everyone a good show.
I would love for you to share with the viewers what your thoughts are on the documentary project, the Sound of Healing documentary project, where I will be going to Vietnam and Cambodia to go learn and explore what the ancient sounds are, to then create a new conscious music album that promotes healing through infusing these traditional ancient sounds with more of a modern twist.
So when I first got the email about the documentary, the journey, the process, I actually like read every single one. I took my time to analyze it as well. I was like, wow, you got big balls, big ovaries. But not a lot of people would do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be easy, of course. It's gonna be a tough and long journey, but again, this is all the certain criteria that you need to meet in order to become better, to be stronger, so you can push yourself further into the journey. Again, like I said, throughout the journey, you're gonna meet a lot of people, and the people they can have good intention and bad intention. Just be careful when you're out there, and I'm very excited to see what you're gonna go through over there, the culture, trying different, again, in those journeys, you're gonna try a lot of things, hearing a lot of things that you're not familiar before. It's definitely a culture shock. Like I was telling you, when I first went to Cambodia last year, again, it motivated me more because I see a lot of poverty, you know? So once you see that, it pushes you to be an even better person. Once you experience that, you know better, okay, I gotta go harder in there. So hopefully you get that motivational boost from seeing that and then push out in your musical journey. There's a lot of instruments you're gonna have to learn. A lot of name, a lot of words.
Are there any specific instruments that you're like, you have to make sure that you include this instrument in the documentary?
For sure. I mean, there's two. There's two instruments. The one I mentioned earlier in the interview was the tro, Tro, tro,
Tro, tro,
tro,
tro, tro,
tro, tro, tro.
tro.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, Chinese violin is very soothing to the ear, and the most common one is those drum that have the snake skin on it. It calls the older folk they call it a by score.
Vice ska.
So hit the score, SKOR, score. So that's the drum. So yeah, those are the two ones that I like, in my opinion. There are a lot, but everybody have their own taste, you know. Yeah, just those two. Those are the only two I like. So we do have a flute, Chloe,
Cloy.
Kloy, Chloe.
Cloy.
I like that too. So
Okay.
So-
Okay, good time. So you gave me
so
three
three.
instruments.
So three
Okay, you
for
gave
sure.
me
Three instruments.
Yeah. What do you imagine the impact of this documentary? Like, let's say we execute it and it's out there in the world. What do you think is possible?
I'm hoping it has the same impact as Time to Rise from Wanda. So which is a big thing. I want it to be on an international level, cause not a lot of people knows that much about Southeast Asian community. It's always about the bad stuff, never the good stuff. So hopefully this documentary will open the viewer eyes. Like, wow, look at the journey that she gone through. Like all these people she meet, all these places that she gone through. It's like I want them to feel motivated as well to go out there and do the same thing, you know, and other people as well, like a domino effect, you know. The ripple effect or domino effect, I want that to happen. So that's one way to cause a positive impact for the people, the viewers. But I'm sure you will.
Thank
Like I said, it's gonna be a long journey. Put on a lot of sunblock for sure. It's really hot out there.
I'm excited. Wow. You're not the first person to tell me about the poverty in Cambodia and it being a culture shock. And I'm curious exactly how much of a culture shock it would be for me, because I have done a lot of traveling in my life. So I'm curious how I will feel personally when I'm actually there in the motherland.
If I want to share my feeling about that, I felt really sad and bad. Cause living in America, we are very privileged, you know. Like, we can enjoy all these little things. So the people back in Cambodia, they can't enjoy what we can enjoy here, you know. Cause they have to like work really hard from morning to nighttime just to make a couple of bucks. So that's what hit me the most. That wow, they will wake up like early in the morning. They put in stuff on. So basically they call it like a tuk tuk. Yeah, tuk tuk. But again, they're all really happy people. No matter how they work, I always see a smile on their face. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And last question, and it's really for the viewers here, is where can people learn more about you, your work, and how do they stay up to date on your journeys?
If you guys want to follow me on my journey, check me out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Just type in my name, Vannara Chim. V as in Victor, A, double N's, which is NNARA. Last name Chim, CHIM. So whichever social media that you go onto, just type in that name. You'll see me in my traditional outfit with my comb over. Indian Cambodian, that's me. You see another Vannara Chim that doesn't look Indian, that's not me.
And actually, I should have asked you this in the beginning. How do you pronounce your name? Because you give people like different ways to pronounce your name.
To be honest, a lot of people, so up here in Boston area, I go by Van. Yep. Back home in Fall River, I go by Vannara. Vannara, yep. Then the Cambodian way to pronounce it is Vannara. Yeah. Yeah, so Vannara. So however you feel comfortable to call me, I will respond to those three names.
Okay. Vannara.
Vannara.
Vannara. Vannara. Vannara. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for having me. It's a great interview. I enjoyed this interview.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. You know how to say thank you in Khmer? Auckland. She got it, Auckland.